All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Sideboard MTG, and it's coffee time. And the subject for today is going to be this new red-blue gift deck, or red-blue God Pharaoh's gift deck, GPG, whatever it is you like to call it. Is it GPG? Well, yes, it is GPG. I hope you guys like the show. We are trying to make these coffee times, at least one of them a week, public. I doubt we'll ever go both public, but the patrons wanted to get out and talk to everyone, not just amongst themselves. So we're going to start doing that once a week and see how it goes. No promises. It may just go back to full Patreon content, but as of now, we're going to try to, on Tuesdays, have a public coffee time, so everyone can get in on the action. You can hop in chat, give us your feedback. All seats at the table are currently full. We even had to pull up another chair for someone. So today might be a little bit chaotic. We do have 5 people sitting at the table today, but we'll try to keep everything to a minimum as far as talking over each other. I know I'm the worst of it, but hey, it's my show. I'm the host. I'm going to talk. I hope you guys do like it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Show some love to our patrons who are taking part in the channel. And if you like the content in general, as always, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to become a patron and get in on coffee times, maybe even have a seat at the table, or even submit a deck for us to talk about and get your feedback on it that way, there are options there for you as well. And you can join the crowd. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this music, and we're going to jump over to Discord, and we're going to say hello to the guys. I guess I should introduce everyone first. We've got Zaxadillo, we've got Jizza, or SD Gaza as I call him. We've got Rush and James. So we've got quite a few familiar faces in here. So hope you guys all enjoy, and let's jump over to the guys.
You either start sometimes at 8:30 here or 10. Or
Yeah.
10, like 11 or something like that. And it's like mad. It's either like right on time, perfect, or like really late.
Wow, that's super late. I'm lucky. I'm on the west coast of the United States, so it's a little bit earlier for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to start around 8 Central for now. Trying to kind of meet that middle ground for everybody, but
which would be perfect.
Right, but I mean, we're not meeting middle ground for James here. I mean,
but James,
it's 7 a.m.
Yeah, right? It's 7 a.m. for him, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere, guys.
It is. Stop it! Someone's getting drunk.
Yeah,
it actually helps me a lot because it started at 8 before, and now it starts at 7.
So you actually get time to sit around with us, don't you?
Yeah, I have to get to chill out before I have to head to the university and
awesome.
Get ready.
Hey, Eric, James wants to join your clan online.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, please. I didn't even know
his username's on Discord.
Okay.
Tommy's got another password.
Well,
He's got another password. Password is fling.
Well,
there it is.
If he... What's up, Justin, Albatross, Jeffrey, Procax, Mitch Wells. Man, we got a bunch of people. David, who else we got in here? I hope you guys aren't expecting this to be like the normal show. If you're not used to coffee time, then this is going to be a little bit strange for most of you guys. But imagine just a bunch of guys sitting around talking about magic, and you'll pretty much have the gist of it. Let me make sure I get all the other shout outs. Dalton.
I think I saw for the Horde in here.
Is For the Horde in here? He is. He was up at the top. We've got Dalton. We've got a couple other people. Like 22 people watching, man. It's a little strange
That's a big-
for coffee time, ain't it? We're normally like 5, 6 people in here.
Yeah, small
Yeah,
number.
yeah. But
You're famous.
everybody's saying their well wishes to you guys, Rush. Justin, your buddy there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, got to give some shout outs to your buddy.
What's up, man? That's my boy Justin. I love that dude. We talk all-
Justin might be another flamethrower.
I can't
Oh
wait to
no,
Justin on-
is Justin another fling thrower?
We don't need more of
Are
them.
you a fling slinger? Yeah. All right. All right. So I've got the cards here. If you'll let me know there. You say your name just James C. That's the.
No, on online, yeah, it's encephalitis. I've typed it into the box.
Oh, it's in Discord.
It's in Discord.
Yeah, I just typed it in Discord. Yeah.
It couldn't
There's
be
a
anything
reason he
simple.
typed it.
It had to be the most hard thing you could think
Yeah,
of.
it's Latin, so
Yep, there it is.
Copy, paste, done.
There's the way to do it.
Yeah, there we go.
What's
So
that name mean, James?
let's talk about this deck. Did you get the invite, James?
I'm just waiting for Magic Online. Still loading Magic Online. Give me
Okay.
a sec.
I'll have to actually send the invite once you.
Oh yeah, okay, got it.
All right.
Excellent.
That's one of the
Awesome.
craziest things about the the online clan and stuff. If I'm not online, I can't invite you. If you're not online, you can't be invited. Oh, hey, Andrew G even
Did
stopped
that
in.
work?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, you're here. You're here with your
What does
Gideon
what
picture.
does it do? Where do you?
So now you have 2 buddy lists on your homepage. So you've got all the
excellent.
members
Oh,
of
yes.
Sideboard MTG, and then you've got all of your buddies. So
Excellent.
now you
Okay,
can.
brilliant.
There's SDs in here. Pretty much everyone that's J-Dubs is JW player. We got a bunch of people in, like the clan's definitely growing. So Magic Hefe with the shout out. I got you, buddy. I got you. Fling mentioned for the first 2 minutes.
That's what I just said.
Right.
Is that a record?
Right. Okay, so let's
Oh, that's
talk.
great. Thank you very much, Eric. I really appreciate that. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's great, and most of the members of our clan are renters like yourself. So like, I think you rent, don't you, James?
I rent and buy.
Okay. So most people are renters. So like, if you're looking to, hey, I need to test against this deck and test my matchup, most of the people in the clan they'll have the ability to help you out. So. All right.
Yeah, I am. I tend to use about at the moment I've got the like manatraders premium account, but I sometimes do drop it because I tend to just because I always just rent out the same deck. I thought, yeah, I'll just buy the cards.
Well,
Either way.
I can't say a lot because I now own my Marty Gearhulk's deck. I didn't originally, but I that deck's better than it showed the other night. Like I hate it, but it's better than it showed the other night. But this deck, this blue-red God Pharaoh's Gift. I guess I'll just kind of start talking about it because this will be the first time we've really looked at
I
it.
really
pulled
hate
up.
this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I really hate this deck.
This
I
thing
take that
is
back.
brutal, and what's beautiful about the deck is almost everything in it can either sack itself, or you're going to get some value out of it. You're going to be throwing some stuff in the graveyard, or you can use its creature to sack it and kill another creature, which gives you more triggers for your Gate to the Afterlife. So, yeah, you might say it's jank, but it put like 5 copies in the top 8 at Seattle, or top 16 at Seattle. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but Seattle was just aggro decks, wasn't it?
It seems fun to play with. They just don't seem fun to play against. Like, or if you could watch it, it'd be cool. But when you're playing against it, like last night, it's just infuriating.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh really? You're gonna play 3 more 1-drops? But you've got Walking Ballista that you can play for 0 to trigger your Gate to the Afterlife. The Vizier, we seen him bringing back Vizier last night. He was like copying my Gear Hulks and stuff like that. So Vizier is really good here. Just another card that you can freely pitch into the graveyard with no care in the world, even if you don't hit your God Pharaoh's Gift. Trophy Mage, so that you can go search up your Gate to the Afterlife. Now, that's going to be the only target in the main board for it. And in the sideboard, there's still no more targets. So,
but Walking Ballista and that Walk-Eye, whatever it is, Marauder combo is just like ridiculous as well.
oh yes, oh
You get
yes,
Walking Ballista 4/4. You've got that thing out. Oh, it attacks. It makes your Raptor a 0/1. Ping it for 1. It loses all ability. It dies.
right.
I had that combo happen to me on pre-release. I was pissed.
Well, I have personally been playing around a lot with Warkite Marauder, and I got some feedback on some speakers here somewhere. But anyway, I had been playing around with Warkite Marauder for a while, and I really like the interaction of Warkite Marauder and Fanatical Firebrand. I mean, you can Warkite Marauder, they don't even know you have a way to ping, and then second main phase, play a Fanatical Firebrand, ping it, and they just lost the Scarab God. Or something, you know, like when Fanatical Firebrand is starting to take down, you know, the Scarab Gods and Hazarets and things like that, that's some real jank. So I'll give you that one, Albatross, that it is some jank. So someone is really quiet on their mic. Let me see if I can get some more volume going for the guys in the background here. Let me know if that's
somebody's quiet on the mic, yeah?
Apparently.
Can't be me. I'm loud as hell.
Oh, yes, we know.
Yes. And this is public.
My bad.
Well, that's good. I actually like it public. I think it's good.
Well,
I think it's good because look at how many we've got 24 people watching already. That's
right.
Oh, it's not like I dropped F-bomb.
That's good stuff.
Well, the coffee times were never really monetized anyway, so if they get demonetized, I don't care. This is content that you guys have technically already paid for. So, and I'll say,
my voice. Yeah, this is my voice.
I'll say the same thing. The Patreon that the professor says about his patrons, that you know, if one person gives $1, that's more than I would have gotten paid for them watching my videos anyway. So, for a single person, you're going to get, you know, pennies a month, but. So, the fact that this is Patreon games, I don't care. Let it rip, but let's not get too dirty with it. You know what I mean? I still want it to be kind of family friendly. You know.
I got class, Eric.
Well, I don't know. You still stuck on fling.
Have you always been an aggro a kind of an aggro player then, Rush?
That's it. All day, every day.
That's all day, every day, right? Anyway, you know, we've got the turn 1 Minister of Inquiries. There are no search for Escantas in this deck. Yeah, no search for Escantas, Fanatical Firebrand, Bomat Courier. Bomat Courier, Fanatical Firebrand, both can sack themselves. Fanatical Firebrand, I know it seems weird, but can kill your Champion of Wits. It can kill your Combat Celebrant. And when you're facing a Vraska's Contempt, that's actually a valid thing that you can kill your own creatures. So it can also kill a Warkite Marauder if they're getting ready to exile it or something like that. You can always, you know, Fanatical Firebrand, shoot it, and then bring it back with your GPG.
It's also the only removal, and that Walking Ballista deck.
Which, from the looks of it, the deck is so aggressive that it doesn't need.
They're not even worried about it.
Like the deck is super aggressive.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Like they're just going straight forward. If you kill their stuff, they don't care. They just don't want their stuff exiled, so they could care less.
Smash! Thanks for subscribing, man. Yeah, I like the looks of the deck. Like seeing Padim in the sideboard is just crazy. Like I have always been wanting to play with Padim, but it's just one of those things. It's like, this card really. But yeah, when you're just throwing it in the graveyard, bringing it back as a 4/4, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact with the highest converted mana cost, and let's face it, who's going to have an artifact bigger than GPG? You're probably going to be drawing a card every turn that you have, you know, Padim out, and that's some serious value. We've got Abrades and Sweltering Suns, which are pretty much the best answer for the mirror match, and for a ton of other decks. Like if all of the meta is trying to be very aggressive, then these Sweltering Suns are going to be great. We've got some negates, Jace's Defeat. And when I see Jace's Defeat, the first thing I think of is what's his name?
Jim, your hope.
Jim Davis. Jim Davis plays this in like every blue sideboard he has. So, oh, you're talking about the Trophy Mage. Trophy Mage can search up a 3 converted mana cost, only 3 converted mana cost, and put it into your hand, which in this deck it's only searching up Gate to the Afterlife. Like in other decks in the past, we've seen some like Aether Sphere Harvesters and stuff floating around the sideboard that Trophy Mage could also search up, but we don't have those here. No Angels, no Lifelink, none of that. This is straight an aggro version of GPG. And because it's GPG, it gets away with Silent Gravestone. You can still bring back your Champion of Wits. You can still, exile cards from your graveyard with GPG because you're not actually targeting them. So Silent Gravestone's pretty good.
Scavenger.
Oh yeah, stops Deathgorge Scavenger, stops the Scarab God, and basically Silent Gravestone is just like the way to go to protect your combo. So I think we're going to play this deck kind of like combo, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into a game, and while we're playing, you guys can just kind of talk about what you think. So yeah, we'll just go from there.
How about after this game, why don't we try and make our own?
I'm going to say that I'm not going to have enough time to do multiples today. Today I'm more worried about what the fact that this deck itself, being 5 copies of it in the in the top 16 there, what is this going to do to the meta? I mean, is this going to shift the meta to the point where we can champion on 3? That might work. I think this is actually probably a really bad hand, but we'll keep it anyway. But what I'm thinking about with this deck is, what is it going to do to the meta? I mean, there were people trying to play Grixis midrange. This deck normally puts out too many bodies for Grixis midrange, where they're trying to 1 for 1 for 1, and you're playing 2 and 3 creatures per turn. Then it's going to be really hard for Grixis midrange to deal with. So is that going to set that deck back? I mean, like, what are we looking at here? So.
Oh, absolutely. It's because the thing is, it's just because Grixis midrange is pretty much relying on mostly one for one answers for threats, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Until they just run out of creatures, that's kind of the idea behind it, and that's why it doesn't do too well against decks that go wider. And the answer to that is Fiery Cannonade, wasn't it? But the issue is a lot of these, quite a few of the creatures in here are pirates, so Fiery Cannonade does nothing there.
I think I want to make the most use of my mana here and just play the Champion of Wits. I mean, I could have gotten the Bomat Courier down, but I think I want to Champion of Wits here and just, yeah. So next turn we can go Warkite Marauder, Bomat.
So, oh, okay.
Combat Celebrant into Beaumont's kind of cool.
It is. I mean, you're putting multiple cards on your every turn.
Exactly.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I was kind of expecting that fatal push, but
it goes live and then it don't go live.
Oh, is it the stream you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did that earlier, actually. I thought that was me. Sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not dropping frames. I'm showing I'm staying at a nice 3000 KBS, so
mine's doing fine.
Yeah, there's some strange decks going on, because I got annihilated last night by a mono white aggro-ish deck.
Oh, was it little weenies or what it's called? White weenies?
I don't know what it was, but it was these silly 2/3 things that are lifelink, vigilance, flying, flying things with this.
Rush. Yo, we can't have them racist comments. Don't be talking about white weenies in here.
Oh Jesus.
He said, that little decks and little white weenies. You hurt me, man. You scarred me with that one.
Yeah, but
this is what you guys signed up for coming to coffee time, by the way. Just letting everybody know.
I didn't do this. This wasn't my fault, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Wait, what do you mean it's my fault?
It's all your fault.
What?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rush. Yeah,
This-
absolutely.
Yeah, it's all your fault because we've been playing them slow decks and fogs, and it's your fault, bro.
Oh my god.
So this next turn, do I just play Walking Ballista for 2? And
I would keep it in
swing?
your hand. I don't think it's really.
He's still going to crew it.
Yeah, he's still gonna crew.
Yeah.
But what does he do now? When this is already on the battlefield, what does he do? Does he have to use his
I
other
would do
fatal
that.
push
Yeah,
to stop it
absolutely.
right now?
Because the thing is, you can
I
get
wouldn't
his,
have played
you
it.
can get-
I would just keep it in my hand. But in the end, it's played. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah, I would rather have it down. And like, so
Oh, Alba likes.
I'm gonna put
lightning.
this on
Okay.
the stack first, I guess.
Oh yeah, they become 0-1s. Oh yeah, they become 0-1s, and he can't. Okay, one of them can't crew.
Stack the Beaumonts first.
All right, so
to
I
see if
probably
maybe
I
Drew's-
probably did it
Yeah.
wrong.
I think you did.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should have probably pinged them first.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ping, make
and
him
then-
crew, then
Ping him,
swing.
make it come in, and then you
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
Now your kite's dead.
He's still only gonna block one thing.
But the
He still has
the
to
thing is,
crew here.
he loses what? So he's gonna lose 1 life because he gains 3, kills your creature,
Does he
or
crew?
and he loses 4.
Yeah. So I assume he has to kill Workite Marauder.
He might just let it happen like a punk. Nope, there.
Nah, he
should
went ahead
block
and
the
crewed.
Marauder.
Yeah, I think he kills
Please.
Workite Marauder here.
Yeah, that's the play. Definitely.
Because if you'd done it that beforehand, yeah, you would have been able to actually take out his Ethersphere.
Right. So yeah, I definitely went about that wrong. I should have went to shoot them both, make him crew, but then I wouldn't have had a way to kill it. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to block though. Let's see what he does. Weaponcraft Enthusiast. I think I just draw like a million cards this turn. So we'll
That's
draw
always good.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh,
Right.
he's playing he's playing a token deck. He might have that gruesome fate. He might kill you, but to get a board wipe.
If he plays Gruesome Fate and I lose to that, I'll accept that. I'll just accept
Yeah,
it.
if someone's willing to play Gruesome Fate, I would be happy.
Yeah.
What's
Gruesome
that card
Fate's
even
it's
do?
a great card. Like in who was it? Jeremiah's deck. I would have been great in his deck. You would have killed that dude a long time ago.
What is Gruesome Fate?
It does
Yeah.
1 damage for each creature you have on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like a finisher burn to the face spell?
Something like that.
kind of. Yeah.
Oh,
I actually,
All right.
I'm gonna build a deck like that and then throw in the God Pharaoh. And I'm telling you, that deck's gonna be nice
Rivals of Ixalan.
because I can.
Okay, so I mean we've got a bunch of mill. I think I swing with
swing with everything but the ballista.
right. Just leave
Yeah.
Ballista back.
Yeah, and then draw cards.
Because you do need creatures you need creatures in the graveyard anyway for
I mean, we
That's
want
real
champion
good.
wits in the yard.
yeah.
Right.
swing
Yeah,
away, it doesn't really
banning
matter.
Champion of Wits doesn't feel bad at all.
Yeah, like he probably won't even block champion. Hopefully he does.
If he's smart, he won't.
Right.
Okay, well here we go.
I can fling a gruesome fate. I can throw a mean card. I can make a stick.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You
So
think you ever seen
I
somebody throw
held-
no card?
I held control. For those of you wondering how to do this, I held control down so that you maintain priority,
Is this the connection
then you
just died?
and then you can put them both up. I hope the connection didn't die. I'm showing everything's green over here.
No, it's good. It's like a couple seconds, like maybe two seconds, if that, because you can hear. Like if I say something now, I'll hear it again in 2 seconds.
That's just stream delay. That happens.
Um,
So did you guys see what Eric did there? I think that's worth repeating. He held priority.
I didn't because my connection went just weird.
So it was important that he held priorities. He sacked the Beaumonts. Otherwise, he would have just drawn 3 and then just spit those 3 right back out for another 3. He would have ultimately just drawn 3.
So you do it both while on the stack. Is that correct? Isn't
Correct.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you have to hold priority on that. So like if people are playing with the bow mats and everything, it's a really good trick because you get to put everything in your hand and you're not really discarding anything. What are we looking at on card count here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the grave. We can put another in the grave at will. We're gold.
Yeah, so,
we're GPG this turn.
oh yeah, we can sack the river. We can mill ourselves with the blue 1-drop.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
we're
golden
golden
right
right
now.
now.
We're going ham. Where's the ham emoji?
Where's that ham?
There
Where
it
are
is.
you, Hammy? Our
We're
little,
going hammy.
our little Hammy.
Hey Eric, how many buttons are on Magic the Gathering? I was
All of
online.
them. Your keyboard.
The entire keyboard.
The whole keyboard.
Christ.
I think you forgot about the mouse buttons.
So I actually bind everything to my my Naga Chroma map. Everything's mapped to my thumb buttons on my Naga.
What's a Naga?
It's a mouse made by
Like
Razer that has
the-
12 buttons on the for the
right,
thumb.
okay.
But a Naga is also
It's
like
a creature type.
it's a creature type, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a creature, it's a snake, but I thought you were talking about like computer stuff, which
I am.
Yeah.
All right, so the cool part here is we do have plenty of mana to be able to do what we're wanting to do here.
Nice.
Yeah, this is going to be fairly decent, I think. And if I'm not mistaken, we like
Well, we need what, 5 mana to put down Afterlife and sack it.
right. That's it. That's all we need, and we have the creatures in the grave to do it. So
We got 6 in the grave. Sweet.
I'm
yeah.
trying to figure out what this dude's doing with his deck. Like I know he's like getting mana screwed and all, but
Well, his idea is to put enough chump blockers in front of you that you can't hurt him.
okay.
But that's not really going to work for him. I'm going to go ahead and grab the one out of the graveyard. We're going to enter combat, and I'm going to grab Combat Celebrant.
Board is simple.
Right? So we're just going to grab Combat Celebrant, head into combat here. And I'm actually, nope. We're going to Exert. I'll swing with this one too, because I would like for it to be in the graveyard for the next combat phase. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mill myself yet again before this trigger goes off, and then that'll untap him, and I'll get even more creatures in the grave to do more crazy stuff with.
Yeah, that's powerful. See if we
Yeah.
can just kind
Jesus
of link
Christ.
up our Selvens, or we got that copy.
Right. I actually want to see if I can hit another Combat Celebrant here. So I'm just going to go ahead
Yeah,
and
that'd
mill
be so
again.
nasty. Because how does it go? 2 combat elements means you attack 3 times, right?
Well,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And then if you can hit a Vizier and you can copy that Combat Celebrant, then you can hit maybe another Combat Celebrant. Like, you can pretty much just end the game like combo style. So,
So 2 is 3, 3 is 5.
right.
Mm.
I'm going to grab this. The thing about a Combat Celebrant is once it's been exerted for that turn, it has to go through your upkeep to lose exert. And the way he's worded, you will... Wow, what do I get rid of here? Like, some land?
I don't even know what you got because it's
Yeah.
I think I just throw 2 islands away. And
Yeah.
Just get rid of square.
Keep the
I mean,
desert though.
we have a
Yeah, keep the desert.
great graveyard going on here, so I'm pretty good with that.
Oh, you want to keep your field of throwing.
Oh yeah. And then I'll swing here if he wants to kill the other guy. That's fine.
How did anybody is the GP Seattle out yet? Because how did Red Deck wins beat this? Like, I mean, I can understand how, but
Bad
I
draw
would
and
like
they
to
were
actually
just
see that.
faster.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to watch the
yeah,
program.
I think that but the thing is that the red deck, it's strange that this GP Seattle, because all the decks that were tested a few days before, all aggro decks online, mono red and things,
Yeah.
And it's strange how aggro decks just made such a comeback for this thing.
Well,
Oh, it
okay,
makes me
so
so
the meta was so mid-range for a while that the aggro decks couldn't fight it because mid-range can usually just like hold back aggro just long enough to throw down a dude that's just too big for aggro to handle. So I've always found that mid-range kind of holds back aggro. Aggro, aw, you come on, dude, that ain't cool. Um, anyway, mid-range holds back aggro, and now what do I do here?
Scavenger grounds, bollocks.
Don't make me do
Don't
it,
do that
dude.
hard. Turned away for 2
This
seconds.
dude's gonna make me do some crazy stuff. He's gonna make me play Bomat Courier swing and dump my hand.
You won't do it.
I think I won't.
You won't. What's up?
Oh snap, son. We got plenty of stuff to do here. We already got a GPG.
Oh.
I'm not worried about these God Pharaoh's gifts. I want this on the battlefield. This has got to get on the battlefield.
Yeah, this has got to be.
I messed
so
up.
cool to
I shouldn't
play.
have played it. I shouldn't have played it. I should have played the Bomat, sacked it. But he's going to go ahead and scoop. But if I would have played Bomat and immediately sacked the Bomat, I could have jumped into combat with Combat Celebrant. Oh, man. Wow, the lines in this deck are ridiculous. What do we want? Sweltering Suns? Silent Gravestone?
I can't.
Definitely Silent Gravestone. He's got Scavenger Grounds.
So Silent Gravestone's
Scavenger
not going
grounds
to
is not
help.
gonna, that's not going to help against Scavenger grounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't target.
Maybe a Padim, just because.
Yeah. Padim's good if he brings in any artifact hate.
All right, so I think I want the Padim and the 2 Sweltering Suns.
But he's blue-black, isn't he?
Black,
So
white tokens.
He'll have Fragmentize already, I suppose. But he's not going to have any artifact. He's not going to have any graveyard hate.
No, I think that he only has Scavenger Grounds, and then he probably has like Cast Out or something like that. But even those have to target. So I think Padim will answer that.
The only cards I don't have for this deck is God Pharaoh's Gift and the Walking Ballistas.
That's not much. That's not much. I mean, we're talking like a $10 manatraders account covers, $100 worth of cards. So
does it?
Oh yeah, like I used a $10 account for a long time to supplement my collection, and then and then I started building up until I could afford the $39 account, and I started running that.
Ballista is expensive.
That's
why I'm not even gonna get. I'm not even gonna get a Ballista. Like I was gonna get what was it? I was gonna get it the other day. Gear Hulks, torrential Gear Hulks for paper, but I was like, it's gonna rotate soon. Even though I know it's a while, but it's like, I'm not gonna play it in modern. I'm not gonna
Ballista will get play. Ballista will get play in modern and legacy and things like that.
Ballista will. Yeah. So maybe
it's
Ballista.
good.
Yeah, Ballista's the same play in modern actually.
Yeah. In Tron, of all decks, I mean, it fit in Tron. What do we cut here? I need to cut 2 more cards. I think Firebrand's going to be great. Like, I don't know what to cut.
You can cut 1 Ballista, maybe.
I don't think so. Not against the tokens deck.
Oh, yeah.
Ballista's pretty key to this deck.
The Fanatic.
Right. Maybe I just don't need Padim.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's worth. Maybe is it worth bringing in Padim? He's not really going to be running a braid or naturalized, so you've only got Fragmentize to worry about and Cast Out as well.
Fragmentize, Cast Out,
Ixalan's Binding will mess things up, won't it?
Yeah.
But then again, you don't need to cast the card. Only if he gets rid of Gate to the Afterlife.
Right. Like, we got to protect Gate to the Afterlife. So maybe I just take out the Vizier and bring in both Padims. I think I'll run it like that.
I'm keeping the Vizier.
Yeah. Keep in the Vizier. Okay, well, it's too late now.
Too late. Oh.
I'm going to mulligan this.
What the hell? You already see your hand?
Man, my stream's lagging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there's always a slight amount of... I think we got to put this on the bottom. There's almost always a little bit of stream lag. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that was a brutal mulligan.
Well, you got the 1 drop for the Minister though.
Right. Let's go Bomat.
Yeah, Bomat. Yeah, touche.
See if he has the push.
For the one time.
So, Rush, are you a fan of God-Fearer's Gift, or are you going to give this is an aggro take on it, this kind of tantalize?
No, I'm definitely a fan. It's aggressive enough that it suits me. My thing is, like, I don't want to play the same stuff as everybody else. I've never been that guy. So, I'm a fan of it. Like, I like watching it. You know, I'm not hating on it. I mean, per se. Like, I don't want to play against it. But if I were to play it, yeah, I'd be cool with it. Gets my vote.
Gets your vote.
Gets my vote, bro.
That's a good draw.
Yeah, as much as I want to go ahead and play the Fanatical Firebrand, like, I think if he actually had an answer, like a direct answer to shoot the Bowmat, I think we'd already see it. I am going to go ahead and play the Firebrand. Not swinging with it, but to be able to kill, like, a token or something like that.
If I were to make this deck, I would probably take a couple creatures out. Not too many.
I think that's what makes this deck tick, is the fact that it's all creatures.
Yeah,
I get that. I see that. It's no removal to it. It's not trying to do too many things. Because the thing is that the white God-Fearer's Gift deck, the blue-white one, you can bring in negates, you can bring in, especially, you can bring in your abrades and things if you're playing, say, a team of colors, and it just kind of, you can just annihilate the game plan.
Well,
it's got to take gauge.
I think I'm going to go ahead and mill myself here. I want to see my options. There was another gate. We were about to draw another gate. Oh, man. So Warkite Marauder seems good. I think I'm going to go ahead and play it. And just put more threats down. Keep swinging.
No reason not to.
Well, the only reason I could think of not to would be to protect the Bowmat Courier one more turn. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be trying to cash this Bowmat in next turn if it ain't dead yet.
Yeah.
And as of right now, there's probably more serious threats here.
I mean, he's taking some hits, man. I mean, it's not a lot, but he needs to do something.
Ooh, he's lost legacying. I don't know what he's going to go get. What, Combat Celebrant? What would you go get? You can't get an artifact.
You can't get art. He probably did the same thing I do.
Yeah, probably Combat Celebrant, break up the combo.
Right.
The attack combo.
Make me have to actually, you know,
play kind of fair magic.
Kind of fair magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it's non-artifact, I think that he brought in the wrong piece of hate for this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys bring Lost Legacy in besides Approach? Like, honestly, that's it. I mean, the only other
card's actually bad. We've had that discussion many times, but it is the best answer in Standard for Approach.
Yeah.
Although the best way to probably play it is the way he did it, like with to play it for free, like with Shram's expertise. That's a great way to play it.
What he's probably trying to do, he's probably trying to name God-Fearer's Gift and wonder why it's not working.
Right. He finally named Combat Celebrant, but
the only other matchup I would bring Lost Legacy in is like against a combo deck, but there aren't really any good combo decks in Standard. Like, probably, I don't know what you guys think the best one is. The New Perspectives, maybe try and pull that card. That's maybe the only other matchup I think I'd ever bring Lost Legacy in for.
Man, I don't want to just lose this.
It's crazy though. Before I've actually lost Legacy somebody's artifact, not knowing it. So they took it out their deck. It was what's that card where if you gain 50 life and then you shoot them for 50 life?
Oh, the Reservoir.
Yeah, so I was playing a deck like that. It was painful. Horrible as hell to play. And I played Lost Legacy naming that. He took it out of his deck. 4 turns later, he realized you can't name artifact. The judge favored it would put it in my favor because it was too late. He'd already passed.
You had to hand a little football to the judge because he punted that one.
Right.
Well, the thing is, the reason it is because it was like 4 turns had passed. He wasn't present whenever I did it because neither one of us realized. So we already continued playing. If it was the turn after the turn of, they could have done something.
Yeah.
I was geeked. I didn't like the guy anyway.
All right, so he is going to force my hand here. I could have played the Ballista and sacrificed the Ballista.
Yeah, same result, right?
Right. It's still going to be in the graveyard. It would have killed one of their dudes, but at this point,
It's not the end of the
I will
world, though.
pitch that and draw 4 cards.
Come on.
Yeah, that's not a bad trade.
Yeah,
No, especially since I hit my lands.
There you go. Look, see,
And I get a ballista anyway.
and you're doing all of this on 2 mana. That's crazy.
What's our graveyard creature count at now?
We got 1, 2, 3, and we could always throw 4 and 5 in, and if we wanted to,
Even
we could always
6, yeah.
shoot if we needed to go 6. And then next turn, we also got, you know, Fanatical Firebrand that we could play and still have 3 up in case we top decked a gate. But right now we got 2 gates in the sideboard, so we got 40 cards left. We got 1 in 20 chance of pulling a gate.
You can do it.
Well, we also have 2 of the fetchers, right?
We do. We do.
Yeah,
Ooh, did I take them out?
Take what out?
I took the trophy mages out.
View your sideboard real quick.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, kill that guy.
Fanatical Firebrand taking down an angel. What a mean
Do
little
it.
monkey.
See, I didn't even see you doing that. You gotta stop that, Eric. You should just let me be excited for you. That way, everyone else knows.
Well, see, all right, you need to think about it like this. You actually have front row seats to the action, to my voice anyway, you know.
Ah.
Yeah, you've got the front row seats here. Oh, man, I don't have a red to sack this. So, what is the play? Put a counter on Ballista. Swing with Warkite. Keep chipping. I know I'm swinging with Warkite. Like, is there any point in playing Fanatical?
Angel.
Yeah.
The only point for Fanatical would be if he plays another Angel, but you got Walking.
Right, putting a counter on Walking Ballista would be like the max use of my mana here. But I can also
it's kind of fun actually that you're just doing it and you're just taking out his angel. That would really bug him.
Right.
I was gonna say another word then.
I think just swing with Marauder and put another counter on the Ballista.
Well, I'm looking at maximum mana here, and I think putting a counter on Ballista is the right way to go.
Yeah. There's no reason to get your hand out right now. Yeah. You don't want to be top decking.
Yeah, I mean, they could have sweepers.
Right. I would love for him to actually sweep the board, and then me be able to get this bow mat out and rolling again.
Yeah.
I mean, we did mulligan to 5 here. Like, just saying, like, we mulligan to Oblivion here.
His deck sucks, bro. I'm sorry. Deck is trash.
Someone critique the rush.
I'm just saying, man, it's booty cheeks.
Ooh, he did have the Ixalan binding.
Yeah, he did. I tried not to mention what he targeted.
Why would he do that?
Forcing my hand so it can't continue to grow.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of that Ballista.
Yeah, he can't play that second angel that's trapped in his hand with the Ballista there. It's going to break his heart when I play this Fanatical Firebrand, though.
In all honesty, though, I understand what y'all are saying, but he's at 11 life and he has no flyers. I'd have been worried about the Warkite.
Right. I definitely think it's time to like just drop bodies.
Yeah. He's at low enough life that it really, you know what I'm saying, doesn't matter.
Do we have any embalm creatures? Just the copycat?
Yeah, just a copy.
Just a single copy of it?
Right. So next turn I'll actually swing with Bowmat and trade in the 1 card for a card. I guess we just make a servo 0-1. Just keep chipping in the air. Like I don't see any reason right now to just start dumping my deck into my grave.
There's no point in to do anything. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Just keep punching them in the face.
We do have 4 Champion of Wits, but we don't have enough mana to flash it back yet.
Right, so
that would be a reason to bin ourselves.
Right, in any other situation, like we would have reasons to start binning, but right now we're nowhere near that, and I don't want to like overbuild my graveyard for him to just get rid of it.
Yeah, good point.
Sheila, I'm not mean. I'm just being honest. This dude's getting pinged for 2 this entire time. He has 10 million blockers, and he can't block one Morkite Marauder, and he chooses the thing that he can block.
So Andrew mentioned earlier in chat, he's like, so are we saying that blue, white, red, like Jeskai would be a good deck now? I'm just gonna kill that.
Could you pick? Could you play
Jeskai GPG?
Yeah, Jeskai GPG.
Could you
like,
play
there's no way.
That has been tried before, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, and I actually had some success with it. Like it was a lot of fun.
Jeskai Gearhawks decks as well. You see.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
I actually think the Boros build's pretty dang solid.
I'm just gonna take this 6.
I'm not mean.
6 damage.
I took Zach's spot since he left.
Fumigate?
Oh, here we go.
Zach bounced out.
What's up, Heavy?
Shuffle your feet, lose your seat.
That's it, baby.
I think I attack with everything here.
Yeah, there's no real point.
I'll make the lifelinker lose its ability. Yeah.
It's lifelinking.
That's a good attack.
Yeah, make it lose its lifelinking.
This dude's blood pressure is going up because this is annoying. Like, this is like getting beat up by like someone really, really tiny.
Plus he just like he swung to flip his land, and then like I top decked the one. Right, just top deck the one thing. So killing the lifelinker, yeah, I understand that I should have killed the lifelinker, but the lifelinker wasn't swinging that turn, and I'm kind of okay with it.
You gonna sack the bow, Matt?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. How much damage is that? That's
4.
3. Oh, he didn't block the lifelinker?
Well, he didn't want to lose it. It was a 0-1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I am 100% Ramo. I will be playing this in a league tonight. We're just kind of talking about the deck and like where we think the deck's going. Is it just jank, or is this going to be a new tier 1 deck that we have to deal with?
I don't think this is jank
I don't
at all.
think it's a tier 1 deck.
You don't think it's tier 1? You think it just caught Seattle by surprise?
I think it's sweet. I think it's super sweet, and like mad props to the dudes who brewed it up. And it kind of came in with the sneak attack factor, but with like graveyard hate and artifact hate, yeah, I think this floats around for like a week or 2. It'll always be a thing, but I don't think it's a tier 1.
I disagree. I think it's tier 1. I mean, because it can, even with all the graveyard hate, like you can only have so much graveyard hate. This thing just keeps coming nonstop.
It does. It gets crazy powerful. I like the combat settlement combo with the copier. That's essentially like 2 extra copies of the settlement. I like all that.
I used that in my in the Jeskai GPG deck that I was building for a little while, and other people have used it, and theirs is just you play that combat celebrant, and then you can just you can play the raid creature from the graveyard. You can play a ton of different things from the grave. So
yeah, I think this is a tier 1 deck, man. I definitely do. I don't think it's like as powerful as like when the Scarab God and them first came out. I think that shit was just so much more annoying. Like when the Scarab God deck was at its peak.
Right.
But I definitely think it's tier 1. And if it's not tier 1, like it's like what tier 1.5.
I'd say it's definitely 1.5 right now, and
we've got to see how it goes. See how the meta lines up.
Exactly.
We'll need to see what happens in future weeks. So
once Dominaria drops, I mean, who knows then? Because
as of right now, this deck has simply just spiked the GP. That's it. That's all the deck has done. Yeah, it put like 5 copies, and they all spiked the GP. But as far as the deck goes, it is simply It's just a deck that has been spiking the GP. So, I think I cycle this here.
This deck needs Archfiend and a bunch of cyclers.
Sweltering Suns and then just get that 1-drop and just kill them.
But I need a 1-drop. Like, do I hang on to the Sweltering Suns?
I mean, as of right now, you have.
I'd hang on to it and swing with the Marauder. Oh shit, he's got 3 life now. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that changes things.
We're good. We're good, guys. This deck's broken. We're good.
Uh-oh, what did he draw?
Oh,
there it is. Well, hold on. Let's make sure he doesn't have settle or something.
He's got 0 cards in hand. We're rolling.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, we got it.
I'm over here laughing. Oh my god. Sorry, fella. I hate it for you, man. He's gonna go ahead and scoop. Yeah, there you go. Bam.
Man, Marauder beatdown.
Right, Marauder beatdown. Oh,
that thing,
wow.
Getting beat up by like a little person, man. That thing did.
Wow. Just getting jabbed to the face all game long.
Yeah, bro. It's like that's the and that like that's annoying when you just when you're boxing and someone just jabs you. Like not even a hard punch. It's like something to stop you. That's so annoying.
So if we didn't draw the card there, I had decided that I wanted to hold the Sweltering Suns to clean the board after the fact. So what my other plan, if we hadn't drawn it, was I would have milled myself for everything I could have with the ministers, and then we would wipe the board, and then just hopefully hit one of our haste guys like a Bowmatter Courier or something like that off of it.
Yeah,
but
I probably would agree with what Andrew. I would have probably done cast Swallowing Suns just for fun.
Just for fun.
Oh, take out his board and then throw the fate down and just kill him.
Did I have 3 red?
Yeah, because you had an Aether Hub.
Yeah. Oh, I did have an Aether Hub. Yeah. You're right. I had an Aether Hub.
Because I just really hate these token decks.
Oh, man.
And so,
how did we just beat a token deck with a 2/1 flyer? Right? Like, 2/1 flyer all the way. Let's go. Yeah, oh, my goodness. This deck's broken. We're going to have some fun with this tonight. Yeah, so what effect does this have on the meta? How does Grixis beat it?
Well, I'm looking at the blue-black mid-range deck from Seattle.
Okay.
And pretty much, other than Vrasta's Contempt, and Fatal Push, they don't on Essence Scanner, they don't really have an answer. Except, like, because they've got no artifact removal, do they?
No, not really. Not really, man. I think that deck is hoping to be like Moment of Craving, Vraska's Contempt, and just gain more life than you're picking away at it. But as soon as you turn these 1/1s into 4/4s, like that plan's out the window. Combat Celebrant, broken ass good. I mean, he did Lost Legacy there. You missed the everything is dead and so are you line. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry. Andrew wanted to see me nuke the board so bad right there. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. That's what. It's just because it would just be
just for spite
and
mean, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got you. Plus, Andrew just like halfway killed the stream boss.
That's what he really wants is the stream boss.
Oh, if he wanted it, he'd take it. Like, we know Andrew.
No,
if he wanted it, he would just take it.
He'll wait till the night.
That's not an issue for Andrew.
Yeah. Don't challenge the man. If he wanted it, it would be his.
He'll wait till tonight. He'll wait till the night when you're live.
And Andrew will get that anytime he wants.
Yeah. Anyway, this deck's sick. So the UB decks, like the control decks, they've pretty much got no way to really interact with it other than taking care of the graveyard, and then they're dying to 1/1 beatdowns. If they can get the Scarab God down, then they have to worry about your Warkite Marauder. So you have answers to the Scarab God. You've got answers to almost anything in the Oh, see? I told you. I told you. Call me out on a job half done. Andrew, you didn't have to do that, but congratulations on Stream Boss there. You're a beast, dude. You're a beast. Anyway, all right. Deck's super sweet. Mono red. What do they have to do against it? Race it?
Well, they better be packing 4 braids between 75.
Right. Just 1 or 2 in the main board ain't gonna do it. I mean, I almost think mono red loses game 1 to this deck. I mean, you've got Minister on 1 who's got a 2 toughness body who blocks Bowmat. All right, and then you've got Fanatical Firebrand who can kill Earthshaker Kenra. You've got your own Bowmat, so if you're on the play, I mean, you can be as aggressive as they are. Warkite Marauder, forget Hazard, that's over. Champion of Wits, great.
Yeah,
just a chump
that's
blocker.
A good thing. You can actually use that Hazaret and then ping Hazaret with Walking Ballista.
Right, or killing Hazaret with a Fanatic. Like, my idea is you just can kill anything in the game with a Fanatical Firebrand, and that alone is just like, why Vraska's Contempt for 4 when I can swing with my 2/1 in the air that you're probably not going to block anyway, and then just ping it with a 1 mana dude, or heaven forbid you've pushed enough pressure that they have to block one of your 1/1s anyway with their 0/1. So I think this just kind of hoses mid-range who's not putting out a ton of cards. So that's kind of impressive about this deck, that most aggro decks do not hose mid-range, whereas I think this one has the ability to hose mid-range. It's also an aggro deck that seems to have a lot of power in the late game. The mono red build from Seattle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now actually.
Yeah, it went 18-0. How did it win in the finals?
Wasn't it just a wasn't it just like the challenger deck with like 4 cards added to it?
No, it's 4 Rekindling Phoenix in the main board. So basically, it's 4 Courier, Firebrand, Kenra, 2 Karizev, 4 Oncock Crashes, 1 Pier, 4 Hazarat, 4 Phoenix, and then the spells in the main is 2 shocks, 3 shots, 2 Braid, 4 Lightning Strike, Scavenger Grounds, and it's got Magma Spray, a Braid. It just must be the Scavenger Grounds have been able to get rid of Grasping Dunes, you know?
Right, Grasping Dunes is a great card too. Like, it's a highly
so they're removing everything, and then the thing they got, I think they just got really good answers. Then Glorybringer, Chandra's, and Piers, and then
in the sideboard they can easily turn into that big red deck we played the other night. Including Key to the City to get through those token decks. I mean, when you're making Hazard get through due to Key to the City, plus Key to the City allows you to discard more cards. So I can tap it. Now Hazard can't be blocked, and I throw another card away, and then spend 3 mana, throw another card away. You can dump multiple cards and do a ton of damage with Key. Dire Devil. I'm loving me some Dire Devil. He put the Chandras in the sideboard. There's no Chandra main board. So does Chandra just come in versus control now?
I think Chandra comes in generally on the play, bit on most mid-range matches.
Okay.
They always generally take, if I ever play mono red, you're out when you're when you're on the draw.
Okay.
Because she's good when you're on the play, but not so good when you're on the draw.
It's not a real red deck without fling, people. Let's be honest.
All right.
But the thing is,
Rush, you gotta do me a favor.
You don't want to go flinging your Hazarat at them.
Rush, you gotta do me a favor.
What's the favor?
After Fling Day, Subscriber Sunday, we're done with this fling conversation. I'm giving you a whole day of fling.
Don't get your hopes up on that one, Eric.
That great. Like,
way better than you give it credit. You just play it.
It is good. I admit, fling is good, but fling does not go in every deck.
Fling works better than fog.
No.
What?
No. No, Fling just punt. I don't know. It just depends on the deck. But anyway, this is not a conversation about Fling. This is a conversation about GP Seattle and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of this deck in the top 16. Are there any differences in the copies, or are they all just straight up the same? Now, this one's got Glint Nest Crane in it.
Does the Crane work the same as that the Mage though, right?
No, the Mage, you go pull the card from anywhere in your deck. The Crane will look at the top 4 cards and give you any artifact. So the Crane could hand you a Walking Ballista, it could hand you a Bomat Courier, or it could hand you a Gate or a Godpharaoh's Gift. But you only get to look at the top 4. So he's got 2 Cranes in this copy.
The Crane's kind of sweet. I mean, even if you whiff, you at least dig through, what, 4 cards when you're really trying to get to Gate?
Right.
You know, I mean,
that's not horrible.
Like
yeah, that's not horrible.
It's not.
So that seems to be the only real difference in this one. What did he take out for the Crane, though? 22 lands. How many creatures has he got? 32. So let's look at the first place one here. 22 lands.
Does he have the...
oh, the Viziers. He's not running the Viziers. He's running 2 Cranes instead of 2 Vizier. And then the other version of the deck here, also running Viziers, no Cranes. So the 2 decks that did the best are card for card. Sideboard's close. This guy went with an extra Jace's Defeat over the 3rd Silent Gravestone, but that's the only difference in the 75 for the top 2. And then the bottom one had 2 Cranes, so let's check these middle 2 out real quick.
But this deck strategy is kind of... the deck has kind of stayed quiet until this Seattle, though, hasn't it, strangely?
It was. This guy's even got 2 Glory-Bringers on the side of his. Still got the Gravestones. Yeah, his sideboard's a little bit different than the others, but the main deck is the same as the 2nd and 3rd place deck. And then Jody Keith's the one who builds with Jim Davis, isn't he? With Todd Stevens and Jim Davis. Like Jody Keith is the guy who helped Jim Davis build Bant Approach and the Auras deck, I think. So if I'm right about that, then there's no wonder this deck is what it is. Those guys do some serious jank. Wow. Yeah, I don't.
If there was one thing about these decks that you could change, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I'd have to play it a little bit more, but from the looks of it, I don't see any room in the main board to switch things out. I personally like the Vizier of Many Faces. I like it. I like it. I like it.
I would have like Glorybringer, or at least like one big creature that just you could play for, S's and giggles. But
I mean, every creature you have becomes a big creature when it comes back from the graveyard. So, like, I would.
I'll be honest. I'm a bit more concerned about the red-green gift. It looks a bit more annoying.
Well, like, do you have a list for that?
Yeah.
I posted it into the Discord? Into the Discord.
Oh,
yeah, I actually like to.
Look at it.
It came 5-0 in the recent competitive league.
Okay, we'll go ahead and download that. So let me jump over here. I'll pull that up just so we have it to look at. Is this thing just named Red Green? Sure it is. Sure it is. Nope, that is not right.
Yeah, 1 second.
It's just Red Green by. Okay.
There's not just one of them though. There's actually.
Here it is. Wow, Cultivator of Blades. You see that, Zax? Zax ain't even here anymore. He left us.
I think he's still in the chat.
Okay.
So that could potentially excite Zax, yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of chat, I probably need to look at chat. I was looking at these websites and don't have chat up. It's underrated in red aggro for sure. Rush, get out of the back. They're talking about fling. I'm trying to read chat here, see if there's anything that I missed that we weren't already talking about. Retro Arcade Fan was talking about need to look at the mono red build from Seattle. We were just looking at it. I mean, the mono red build from Seattle doesn't look like overwhelmingly special. It just looks like a good solid red deck that is tuned to deal with GPG. So maybe he knew GPG was coming because he had a couple of braids in the main. So yeah, maybe the word got out that there are going to be a ton of people playing blue-red GPG, and it looks good. So this deck looks like it's got part of the same plan here with the Bomat Courier and the Fanatical Firebrands that can kill themselves. Merfolk Branchwalker for pitching stuff in the graveyard. Jadelight Ranger for the same thing. Combat Celebrant, which, you know, probably just a staple in a red GPG deck at this point. Like, this is kind of the main reason everyone splashes red in their GPGs is like, I want to use this Combat Celebrant.
Yeah.
Yeah. This deck actually does have Glorybringers, Cultivator of Blades, that sort of thing, which is huge. We see.
I would have put for the server to conduit though. I would have probably put like Vaulted Brawlers. I understand why it's in there, but like you know me, I'm just aggro.
Right. This little package here of 4 Gates, 2 Godpharaoh's Gift, and 4 Walking Ballista seems like it's pretty much standard in a Gate deck and a Gate to the Afterlife version of GPG. So I kind of expect that. If you're playing red at this point, I'm pretty much saying that this is standard as well. I mean, let me move that. So as far as like just parts of the deck that we just can't lose, if you're playing GPG at all, then here, let me move this. So if you're playing GPG at all, you pretty much only have these cards to work with. This deck only runs 20 lands, where the ones that won run 22. But these are pretty much staples in the red GPG deck. So all of these cards are in the other deck as well. So basically, as long as you have those, can you just pretty much put anything that helps with the graveyard here? Is that what this is saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, imagine that. It's not only that, because they've also got Brash in the sideboard, yeah? So it's good against other God-Fear's Gift decks. So my kind of thing is, you're bringing back Brash, yeah? You can basically constantly keep sacking it and destroying an artifact.
Once. You can do it once, and then you bring it back, and then you do it. That's it.
Oh, because you get exiles, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. Okay,
that is the underlying thing behind that Mardu Gearhulks deck that people don't realize is you don't actually want to be bringing those Gearhulks back with Godpharaoh's Gift, because then it limits you to only twice. Whereas
and they're smaller, they're 4/4s.
Right, and they're smaller. So, I mean, I like the red-green deck, but I'm definitely more excited about the red-blue deck right now. I think the red-blue deck's really good, and from what I've seen on manatraders, the entire deck was not expensive. Let me actually pull that deck back up.
It is now.
It is now. It's $153. So what in the deck is expensive here?
Well, Zax was lying, or if he was just, or if he's truth. Well, not lying or joking or telling the truth, but he said the Combat Celebrants went up from like $2 to $10.
Are you serious?
They went up from seriously, they went up like $2 to $10.
That's crazy, because when I bought them, they were under $2.
Wow. So, so right now, Walking Ballista will cost you $21 on MTGO, but it's only $11 in paper for 4 of them.
Oh, for 4 of them. I was about to say, I was like, for one?
Yeah, for some reason, Walking Ballista is so much more expensive online than it is on paper.
Right. And then Combat Celebrant, $12 for 4 of them. Wow.
Yeah, Champion of Wit's gone up a little bit too.
Yeah, they went up, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, Champ's $5 for a playset on online, $270 for a playset. Is this for a playset? Is this price I'm seeing here? This is for the whole playset, right? Here, let me see if this changes things. So if I go down a Combat Celebrant
with that.
Yeah, I think that's for a playset.
Oh no, it ain't.
That's a per card cost.
That's a per card cost, sir.
No.
Wow,
No
Combat
way.
Celebrant,
$12.
$12.50 a piece on paper. Wow. So to buy your playset, it'll pay for a month of manatraders.
Holy crap! You gotta down and take care of my cards. I'd be rich.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe Combat Celebrant did that. I'm glad I got mine. I have mine because I built that jank deck.
Like
but
it's gonna be. People have only been playing it for like what, 2 months, a month?
Right.
Like I mean, besides me when I make you play it. But...
Well, I love playing jank anyway. As long as I'm having fun playing Magic, I'm good. Combat Celebrant, $12 a piece, man. That blows my mind. So that means Walking Ballistas are $11 a piece in paper.
Yeah, I'm not buying Walking Ballistas anytime soon.
I'm glad I own mine in both paper and online. It was just one of the few cards I never sold. So, yeah, I own mine. And I'll probably just always keep them. I'm to the point now where I'm hoping that I'll never have to sell cards again. And I can just collect. Like, I would love to eventually become a collector. I've always been a player, never a collector. One day I want to just start collecting. Building a set, building every block. You know, putting a binder together the way you see other people do. I want to be that guy, but we'll see.
See, I have a tendency not to collect personally because I tend to have a card for a bit, then I trade my cards a lot. I do, so I don't like to keep a stash of them because it stresses me for some reason. I don't know why.
Understood.
Yeah. It really stresses me when I've got these cards that, yeah.
Well, I tell you, you know, with manatraders, I think that's really like changed my philosophy on what I need to do or what I don't need to do with cards. Like, because I no longer need to go, yeah, I need to sell these in order to get in that deck. I can actually just click, I want to rent this and have it sent to me. So,
which I think is really cool. When channel, because I'd have never known that. Like, I would have been just doing whatever.
Well, that's kind of what this channel is about. We play all the crazy decks, the net decks, the other decks that are popping up, so that we know how those decks work. So when you guys get to brewing, you can do your brews and you know what you're facing. Like last night, I did not know that I was about to face, you know, a bunch of blue-red GPG, and now you guys know, hey, GPG is a thing. We're gonna have to be facing GPG. Yeah, $8.31 a piece on manatraders for Spirebluff Canal there, Cosmos.
How much are they?
Spirebluff Canal, $8.31 a piece.
They dropped because they used to be like $11, $12. Is that right? At least in paper, I think they were.
Oh, I need to go to Magic. So
that's gonna
Spirebluff.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's not really on that. No, it's not really on that. It's not really gone up that much. It's not really gone up, to be honest. It's stayed about the same.
On the medium is $8.28 on TCG Player. Manatraders has got them for $8.31, so we're talking 3 cents different.
Maybe I'm thinking of the green one. So there's one that's really expensive, $11.
I think the green-black one just spiked back up, but
I have a playset of it. I don't have a playset of the red-blue and the blue-green. It's the only ones.
Yeah, I have all the lands. It's the first thing I buy when a new set comes out. I just go get all the lands, and because I learned a long time ago, if you have the lands to play the deck you want to play, you can probably borrow the other cards, but borrowing lands are normally like the hardest thing to get a hold of. And even when I used to card pool with people, I would always just have my lands, and This way, if I wanted to switch, it would be much easier to switch because somebody wouldn't have the lands we needed to play blue-black or the lands we needed to do something else. So that's always been a recommendation of mine. When a new set comes out, worry about getting all the lands first, and then you can worry about everything else. Because then if you want to swap back and forth, then you can. Look up the value history of Combat Celebrant. You want to see the spike. Can we do that at TCG Player? Can we do it in TCG Player? Can we see the value history?
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
Okay, so Combat Celebrant from Amonkhet. Wow, there's a pre-release Combat Celebrant.
Is there?
Apparently, it's $18.25 a piece. Yeah, I kind of want to see it too. That's all. It just has the. It's just going to be foily and have the stamp on it, the date stamp. That's it. No,
That's stupid.
No alternate art. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd rather just buy a foil, a regular foil. All right, so. The trend, where's the trend?
Should be on the right. Or no, it's right there.
Yeah, it's showing just like this slow, like steady. There's got to be a spike somewhere. I mean,
you can see the drop. I can see like it's a tiny, tiny drop, but.
Whoa, too far. What am I doing? Like, why won't I let me pull this up and see a better view of it? Do you guys got a better place that you go to? Tenali Summoner. Goldfish. Goldfish will show you.
Okay. Yeah, Goldfish will show you the since the card's been released, they'll show you the prices.
Tenali Summoner. What's that?
There it is.
Okay.
Wow. There's your spike, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ.
So
that's like an earthquake.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. It spiked back here for a little while when people were trying it. And it went back down. And now it just spiked through the roof. Man, I can't believe that.
Does it look like it's
spike.
going back down though? Like right there at the top?
Of course. Of course it is. There's a phone call coming in. Talk amongst yourselves, gentlemen.
How are we going to play Fling every night? I don't, like, there's got to be something. Andrew, we might need you to, like, donate more aggressively.
No.
Dang it. Dang it. He's back.
Oh, thank God you're back.
Yeah, but they didn't answer me when I tried to pick the phone up. No. Oh, goodness. All right. Anyway, looks like I got more work to go do before our stream tonight. Anyway, yeah, Combat Celebrant through the roof. It's already starting to drop again. I expect this to just be a hype spike. But I don't think it'll drop all the way back down. I think this deck's going to be getting some play now. I honestly think this deck will start getting some play now. So that's kind of cool.
And it will get even better with Dominaria with the new lands.
Here we go. Now we have this is the paper. This is the paper bar right here. Nice and smooth, no real spikes. And then all of a sudden, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not even really dropping. Oh, I guess it is dropping a little bit.
It's
on
dropped
paper,
50 cents here in the last day. So, but it's up. What, $8 right now? It was at $2 and now it's at $10. That's crazy. Like, that's a ridiculous amount for a card to spike like that because of 1 GP. So with the card spiking like this, you guys can all like just bank on the fact that people are going to be trying this at your LGS. Every LGS is going to have someone trying this deck.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Well, it won't be the last. It will not be the last. Yeah, cards don't spike $8 unless like everyone's trying the deck out. So I would expect this coming Friday You're going to be ready for this deck. Like, don't go without an answer to GPG. And even if you don't get GPG, you do have to worry about a 2-1 flyer. Like I did win that tokens deck in an aggro fight with a 2-1 flyer.
His deck did suck though. His deck sucked.
Well, against like red deck, he would have had blockers for days.
Yeah.
Against other aggro decks, he would have had blockers for days, including starting to get into his lifelink blockers. This deck just didn't care.
That's why I say I think this deck is like tier 1, like 1.5. Like, I like it, man.
Yeah. I definitely think the deck is tier 1.5, and we will probably see a copy of it in the top 8 for the next 2 or 3 weeks until Dominaria comes out. So I would say we can probably consider it tier 1 as far as the amount of play that it's going to get and how hard it is to defeat for the next 2 weeks. But there really is just not going to be enough time for us to actually evaluate whether it really is tier 1 or tier 1.5. But for the most part, I'm going to say the deck is in our meta. Count on it. It's here. What is it going to do, though? Because, like, I've been trying to ask that question, and, like, we haven't really gotten around to an answer. So I'll give my thoughts on the meta for a minute. So for the last... for the beginning of Rivals, like let's say Rivals has got 3 blocks inside Rivals of Ixalan, month 1, 2, and 3. For month 1, I felt that the entire meta of month 1 was just kind of based around a bunch of mid-range decks. We had the banning right before Rivals come out, and then we had Rivals hit on January 19th. Banning was on like the 15th or something. So Rivals was completely fresh. Everyone went into Grixis mid-range, and we had all of these mid-range decks, wreaking havoc with red deck, Wind sliding along beside them. And all of those decks were kind of good. And then you started seeing more and more decks come in that would push the Grixis decks out of the way. Like we've seen the Vampires decks and things like that. The go-wide strategies came in for a couple weeks. And then we started seeing more people bring in board wipes and more main board wipes. And then we started to see the rise of white decks. And then as the rise of white decks came in, we started seeing more aggro decks come in to help fight those back. And then as those pushed the white decks back out, now we're starting to see Grixis midrange. What are you laughing at, Val? Yeah, Rich was talking about white weenie earlier, and I was like, yeah, all right. But anyway, she's laughing at me because I said white decks. All right, whatever. Anyway, hey, you got a white deck, baby.
We're not going to go there.
All right. Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Not today, Eric.
Yeah. Luckily, you've chimed in on coffee time here, babe. Anyway, so yeah, like we've seen the white decks come in, and then aggro come in to push those back. Now, as those got pushed back, we started to see the mid-range decks start to pop back up, and I think that there was just a lot of control, a lot of mid-range at GP Seattle, and then that allowed the door to just open up for a couple fast decks to just run over those decks. So maybe this was just a meta call, and the meta may shift again. Where do you think the meta would shift if this deck is now... Let's pretend it is tier 1 for the next 2 weeks, because people are going to play it like it's tier 1. When you see 5 copies in the last GP of a block, this deck will just get played until the end of the block. Like, just go ahead and count on that. People are going to be playing it for the next 2 weeks. So, if they are going to play it for the next 2 weeks, it's part of the meta. What do you think that will do? And mainly, what do you think that will do as far as what decks do you think people will start playing that will have good matchups versus this? Like, if you knew that 4 out of your 5 matches were going to be this deck, what deck that is currently tier 1 would you play to just hose this? And
red-green monsters.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
Abrade,
naturalized, Rash, Gone, Abrade.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, some really good, a really good card against the God Fear gift strategies. Also, struggle as well.
Yeah, Struggle's actually really good. Zaxadillo said Authority of the Consoles. Authority's good, but it doesn't stop them.
I almost lost to a stupid mill deck until they milled Struggle and left, and I had like 4 cards in my library. And I just used Survive, and I was back up to like 46.
No, Zax. Turbo Fog is not what I would use here. Like, if you're not wiping the board, if you're not getting rid of this stuff or getting rid of the graveyard, I definitely think we're going to see a lot more.
I think Zax is just gearing up for the potential of future Chanodilla.
Channel Dillo, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be.
Why don't you yell at Zax like you yell at me for Fling?
He knows how much he hasn't been that hard on Turbo Fog. I mean, we got at least 10-20 minutes into the stream before we started mentioning Turbo Fog. I mean, it was what, 2 for Fling.
That's because everyone loves it.
We were talking about Fling before the stream even started.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that if people are going to start running sweepers, if people are going to start doing that, then you're 100% right. The red-green monsters decks, which can normally get away with running like main board Sweltering Suns anyway, are just going to hose the. They're just going to hose this deck. So I think with this deck in the format,
I actually don't think red-green monsters, as it is, can really get away with running main board Sweltering Suns. I think there's just too many 2-drops and too many 3-drops that the creatures are just that little bit lower on the power scale.
So then, would you say Teamer Dinosaurs might be the better answer then? I mean, we're seeing Regisaur Alpha get more play.
I'm slightly biased, but if for example,
is red deck wins, that's the one that beat it. It's the only that's probably my best guess, like the best bet.
Right. So I do think that the Regisaur Alpha decks, you know, the decks that have traded Glorybringer for Regisaur Alpha and that aren't running all of the 2-drops, I think that those decks are really well placed to fight this deck. So
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. The team at the team at Dino's deck in my core is pretty good. It's pretty well suited because I'm now running 4 main board Abrades and 2 Swallowing Suns main board as well. So you know it helps a lot on 4 Death Gorge Scavengers.
Death Gorge Scavenger is definitely going to be great. The Silent Gravestone in the sideboard does kind of hurt that a little bit. But those decks run the Abrades to deal with the Gravestone. They run the Abrades to deal with, you know, the Godpharaoh's Gift itself. They can put out bigger blockers. The only thing I'm worried about is none of the decks we mention really have flyers to deal with that Warkite Marauder. If you can't Magma Spray that Warkite Marauder, you're dead.
You're in for trouble. Yeah.
And wasting an Abrade on the Warkite Marauder just don't feel good. Like that doesn't feel like that's where you're going to want to be. But
yeah, this is why I just posted into Discord actually a most current list. That's the example being of what I wanted. So you know, the Hawkeye Marauder, but you have so many removal spells that can deal with that. And Swallowing Suns does a pretty good job.
Right, like your main board's got 4 Abrade, 2 Sweltering Suns, Struggle to Survive, which will deal with, you know, the 4/4s.
Yeah, 2 Struggle to Survive in the main, and then 1 in the side as well.
Along with and then 2 other Sweltering Suns. And you could just counter the dang thing with your Negates or Admiral's Orders. So, you know, James, you might actually be playing like one of the better decks to be running against people right now. Like, no joke, man. You might actually be playing one of the better decks right now. They're not stopping Carnage Tyrant. Like Warkite Marauder is not going to do anything to Carnage Tyrant.
No, it's not.
Matter of fact, Carnage Tyrant, if you get it down, is probably going to laugh at most of this deck.
But they're running a 3rd copy in the main.
well, the thing about it is, are you dead before you get to Carnage Tyrant, though?
Oh, it depends. Against the Godpharaoh's Gift deck, the thing is, you see, if you're relying on getting to that 6 mana, The answer is yes and no. So you could be, because it's really quite quick, and you can be sometimes. So there's no match at the moment. How the deck plays, there's no matches where I'd ever take out Carnage Tyrant, because I just don't. It just doesn't. But however, there are things where you kind of take out the drovers, because if you bring in 4 Swallowing Suns, I always take out the 4 copies of drover, because the point.
Absolutely. I can agree with that, and you're never going to take those braids out in this matchup. So
no.
Thunderherd Migration is not active enough on turn 2. But
that's the thing, you see, when you want to go against red decks and things, you're not wanting to necessarily cast Thunderherd Migration on turn 2. You're wanting to abrade or kill the stuff Magma Spray.
Absolutely. So Thunderherd's like bad in those really fast matchups. You need to be interacting with their board. So,
exactly, yes.
So I guess in this matchup you drop Drover and Thunderherd, and that gives you what, 7 spots to bring cards in. So you can bring in 2 Suns. So 2 Suns, 2 Admiral's Orders, 3 Negate.
Yeah.
Wow, that actually seems decent. Magma Spray doesn't seem horrible. Like maybe just a 3 Negate. Maybe you don't even need Admiral's Orders. Maybe 3 Negate, 2 Suns.
Admiral's Order really is for certain matchups, because it's the double blue.
Right.
James, is the blue in there just for for everything he's showing? Like,
yeah, it's for Negate. It's for Negate.
Okay. Yeah, it's for Negate, and it's for the thing is, you see, the way the deck plays is pretty much the blue doesn't really cost you anything to play.
Yeah, it's just free. It's just attached to your mana by osmosis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you just kind of have blue, so you don't even worry about it. You don't fight for it. It's just going to be there.
I just feel like any deck that I have, like I'm just going to put, like I said earlier, if I build any deck, I'll black in it. I feel like, or whatever it is, the one that the Lost Legacy.
You know, I actually really see what you're coming from there, Rush. But the thing is, you see, by bringing black into the deck, black is brilliant. We've got some really good tools in room. But the thing is, you see, when you want to bring black in, you really want a black main board as well. And the downside to black in main board is it kind of limits your chances of double red, double blue, double green on say turn 3, turn 4.
Right, because if you're running black, you're going to want like Vraska's Contempt, which is double black.
Exactly. And also, Duress is nowhere near as good as Negate. Duress does not compare to Negate.
It does
against
not.
Control Mod.
It does not. Just setting back on a Negate, even setting back on a Negate on like turn 4, swinging with your Drover and your Ripjaw Raptor that you dropped on 3, like. And then just hold up Negate on 4 for that settle is still more powerful than than doing a turn 4.
Exactly. Yeah. I played against, for example, a Grixis mid-range deck. Sorry, a Grixis control deck the other night. I think it was last night actually, or the night before. And I was actually in a stage where I had really bad mana, but I had a Nissa at 7, and I was zeroing Nissa, and she was getting my mana. But I had 2 Negates in my hand and 2 Admiral's Order and a Chandra, and so he tapped out to play his Nicol Bolas, 2 mana Negate. And then Nissa just got me the rest of my land, and then I just Chandra down and just protected them. And Chandra ultimated, Nissa ultimated, and it was game.
I hate this card in this deck. Nissa.
I love it.
But you think about it in the control matchup, which is where it comes in on, you get Nissa to 7. You zero her. If you get a land, you play it. It ramps you. If not, you get a creature, you play that creature. They can't counter that creature. They have to disallow it.
Right, because they have to disallow the ability before you even look.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so that means Regisaur comes in.
Done, so, yeah.
Exactly.
I do think that a deck that is running these cards are going to be, very well suited to fight against the Combat Celebrant deck. But either way, this Combat Celebrant deck here, this Izzet Godpharaoh's Gift, it's pretty sick. I
think what we should do is we should probably do some playtest this week.
That's
I'm gonna have to go, guys, because I need to get to work and I've got to set up for a class.
Understood. And I'm actually about to close out the show. So if any of you guys want to give yourselves a shout out, what you got going on or anything else, Go ahead.
Just go vote for my deck and everyone else's deck that we play on Sunday.
All right, there you go.
All right. Be safe, everybody.
Well, that
Eric,
yes,
did you want to do a challenger on Sunday?
I thought we were gonna. Well, it'd be Sunday for you. It'll be Saturday for me. For the Patreon.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I got you.
What did you want?
Sounds good. I'd kind of planned for it. So if you're there, just let me know, and I'll take a break in between decks, and we'll do the challenger. And
would you if you give me a time, that would be great, amazing. Just
okay.
So I've got an idea.
So anytime during the show, and the show starts at 8. So
okay, cool, awesome.
It's -5 GMT for you.
So that's like 10, 11 a.m. Yeah, sure.
And then like if you want to do it, it'll be like a 3 or 4 hour show. So if you want to do it at the beginning, in the middle, whenever, just let me know, and we'll get you in for the challenge. And I don't know what deck I'll be playing, but I'll have a deck to play against you. Might play my Gearhulks deck. So, although with all of your braids, I don't know if that's going to be good or bad.
Well, there's also Thrashing Bronzodon.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, it done that. They put Cataclysmic Gearhawk into play. I've had a Carnage Tyrant and a Brash out. I just sacked the Brash, to keep my Carnage Tyrant, destroy his thing, and it's kind of left out in the alone.
But do remember, Combustible Gearhulk is not scared of Carnage Tyrant.
It doesn't kill it though.
How big is Carnage Tyrant's butt?
Oh no, but I'm saying because it's a 5/4. Oh, Combustible Gearhulk. What you mean?
Combustible is not scared of Carnage Tyrant. Carnage Tyrant's a 7/6, and Combustible's a 6/6 first striker.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not scared.
I mean, they're all good, man. They're all good.
Yeah. I mean, Gearhulks are awesome.
But at least my awesome. 2-mana spell can kill your creature in one.
Right. You're right. You are 100% right. Either way, though, guys, that's
cool.
That's going to be the show for today. Jizza, you got anything you want to say to everyone?
Not really. Looking forward to the stream tonight.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys tonight. It's going to be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Central.
Right, so that would be
I think
9.
that's 9 your time. I am trying to stream from now on. Daytime stream's going at 4, and then the evening stream's going to go at 8 Central. So I'm going to be trying to stick to that. Life happens sometimes. I start a little bit late. Even if I start a little late, and we're still getting the show fired well before 9 o'clock, and I think that's gonna fit most people's time a little bit better. So hopefully it will, and we'll see you guys later tonight. Let me jump over to chat and give some shout outs to who all's left. John Harriman, you have another version of GPG Black Red that will be a lot of fun. Combos off more frequently. I would love to see that, John. You've got to post that over on the Reddit. Let us know what's going on with that.
I want to see that too, John.
Yeah,
I'm about to build one too.
Right. Well, we know what we need for the basic part of a red GPG deck. Like we just looked at that earlier, laid out all the cards that were in both. So you're listening while doing your wife's taxes.
I'm cooking while talking to you.
See, multitasking.
Guys, I'm off. I love you and leave you. Thanks a lot, and hopefully the live streamers like it too. See you soon, guys. Have a good day.
I think they will.
Later, James.
Have a good one.
Hey, see you later, James. Look for you online.
See you later, guys. Maybe catch some of you guys, hopefully, on Magic and do some playtesting.
Sweet.
Yeah, definitely.
Later, buddy.
Awesome. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
See you.
Later.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later tonight. If you guys got anything you want to leave for me, just drop them in the comments. Again, we're going to try to do these coffee times on Tuesday as a public coffee time, the way you guys have seen it today. No, it's not your typical show. It's a bunch of guys having fun talking about Magic. So some people will like it. Some people will be like, I'm not watching coffee time. But that's your prerogative. Either way, my name's Eric. You have just watched the Sideboard Community. You know, have fun. We'll see you tonight.
Later.
Later, guys.
Later, weenies.
Oh my goodness. Do I run credits for this? Man,
nah, man, just exit out. Drop
I have to. Andrew, like donated and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
He deserves that.
Andrew always donates stuff. That's like, you know, getting credit for breathing.
Man's got to get credit for working. He worked for that. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later tonight. I'll run the credits and we'll jam out. What do you guys want to hear?
The same. You know, the usual.
Anything's good.
They're
all good.
Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Yeah, why not?
Punch it out.
There we go.